Rashada visiting the University of Georgia very soon. We have some intel for you guys tonight. Quick shout out to our friends at Prize Picks. Let's get started. And that's exactly where we will start. We will start with the Jaden Rashada story. Sources indicated to me this morning confirmed that he will be on campus this week. Don't want to report the exact dates. I believe it to be tomorrow through Wednesday when he will be on campus. And I want everybody to kind of remember this. This is kind of his first time really seeing and feeling out the program and the facilities and the campus. This wasn't a guy that Georgia was in on coming out of high school. This is a guy that in the second round of recruitment, it seems like Georgia is going to be highly active with and around here. So he obviously won't be able to see what practice is, won't be able to feel what practice is because not in that time frame of the schedule, right? He's not going to be able to feel that smoke that a lot of people feel when they first go to a Georgia practice, because if you ain't never been, it will be a culture shock for you when you first get there. Like, wow, they really coach hard here. Yeah, they do. So you should be very, very aware of that. But I would imagine he gets the feel for that, the seriousness and the level of professionalism around the program, just walking around and talking to the football facility, or to the football staff, rather. But I think most importantly, he will see, hear, and feel for the first time what Mike Bobo's offense is going to be like, right? What the system's going to feel like, and what the mission ultimately is, what the plan ultimately is for Rashada if he were to indeed end up at the University of Georgia. So that's all good news and good things about what is coming for this visit and kind of the lay of the land of what needs to happen, or what will rather happen during this visit. But I think we did a decent enough job addressing this Thursday when the news kind of broke on us mid-show. I definitely hammered home the point to patreon.com/Brooks Austin. We carried it over into Discord conversation, but I kind of want to hammer it home here because I've kind of seen a narrative that is kind of false on social media, and I want to address it right now. Okay, I don't hear, and I never do, I didn't hear any concern about the linebacker room when Justin Williams, Chris Cole, and Christopher Jones were added to it this offseason. I didn't hear anybody running to Twitter going, wonder what Smile Mondon thinks of this. What about Raylan Wilson? I didn't hear nothing about that. In fact, when Jamon Dumas-Johnson, when Pop hit the portal this fall, everybody was like, was it December? Mm-hmm. The first window. When he hit the portal during the first window, everybody was kind of like, oh, well, I mean, that makes sense. C.J. Allen's the better football player. I didn't hear nobody running to Twitter going, oh, no, what did we do? Why did we bring in all these good football players if we were maybe going to lose somebody who might not be as good? Y'all do this at every other position. I didn't hear a word, not a word, about 6, not 3, not 2, not 4, 6. That's 7. 6 offensive linemen being added to the room this spring and this fall. 6 bodies being added to arguably the deepest offensive line room in the sport. Didn't hear a word. Y'all didn't come running to Twitter talking about Kelton Smith. Y'all didn't run to Twitter talking about Jamal Merriweather. Oh, what happens there? Y'all don't do this. Y'all don't do this at any other position. But for some reason, I don't know why would you do this at the quarterback room? Why would you look at the quarterback room any other different than you do at any other position in the sport? Y'all didn't say a word about Ellis Robinson coming to the University of Georgia last year. Oh, what happens if he beats out Julian Humphrey? Y'all didn't say a word. Y'all just said, ooh, number 1 player overall. Come on. So why do y'all do this with the quarterback room, right? Especially when your coach has been very honest about the plan. The plan has been 4 quarterbacks. However, he did not say, we just want a 4th body. He didn't come out and say that, did he? So when they actually get a good 4th body, some people want to run to Twitter and go, oh, well, what happens? What happens if this guy's good? Well, it'll make the room better. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Because I understand when quarterbacks get involved, you worry about another quarterback leaving. That's what you do. You didn't treat Pop like this. You didn't treat Latavius Bernee like this, but you're going to treat whatever quarterback, if a quarterback leaves, you're going to treat that quarterback like this, okay? Because you fear whatever it could be instead of just saying what it is. We root on a football team. You root on a football team. Shouldn't say we. You root on a football team that is very adamant about making the roster as great as humanly possible. So when a great player becomes available at any position, you're going to take a look at him. It does not mean they think less of anybody else in the room. That's the first thought, right? Oh, well, they must not think Gunner's very good. Well, no. In fact, Gunner just had the best spring, in like 3 years we've heard from any quarterback? Mm-hmm. He had a tremendous spring. They confirmed and found out everything they needed to know and wanted to know about Gunner this spring. And we're still a Scully short. So what y'all want him to do? Y'all want him to go sign or go after the backup quarterback from Indiana? Y'all want him to go find out whether or not the fourth stringer at another Power 5 school wants to get in? What? No. There is a great player available. Georgia's going to attack the great player. And by the way, the other great players in the room, they all knew this was coming. They all knew a fourth body was coming. And they all knew the fourth body was going to be really, really talented and really, really good. So there you go. That's my only thing right there. Like, why do we automatically be like, oh, this must mean, like when somebody transferred or somebody popped in the other day and started talking about Jared Curtis. What's this mean for Jared Curtis? What are you talking about? Ryan Montgomery commits. What's this mean for Jared Curtis? Bro, Jared Curtis got 2 more years of high school football. What are you talking about? What are we doing? Y'all do this every time at the quarterback position. I don't get it. Your quarterback room should be just as great, better than any other room in your building.
Yeah, I mean, it's because of the Justin Fields thing.
Is that what it is?
There's a percentage of every Georgia fan in their mind was always asking, what would happen if Justin Fields didn't leave Georgia? And the idea that, well, Jake Fromm starting pushed him away, so that might happen with this. Stetson Bennett might be doing that to JT Daniels. Carson Beck might be doing that to Brock Vandagriff. Things like that. That's always going to play in the back of Georgia fans' mind, even though time and time again, Kirby Smart has proved that you don't need to worry about that. He knows what he's doing at that position. So I feel like that's the reason why people go, freak out about it.
I think Georgia fans also kind of forget that in 2019, your quarterback room consisted of Jake Fromm and Stetson Bennett. Once Jake Fromm was injured against LSU, you were playing a walk-on Stetson Bennett against the eventual national title contenders. Aaron Murray's years at Georgia, who'd you have backing him up, Christian? Who was there right behind him?
Hudson Mason.
Yeah, I mean, when Murray got hurt, tore his ACL against Kentucky, if Georgia was on the verge of contending for a national title that year, which they weren't, you would have been playing Hudson Mason on your mission to winning a national title. Even the year before that, Matthew Stafford, you had Joe Cox behind him. That was your quarterback room.
He did lead a 21-point comeback against Georgia Tech, though.
I was telling you guys before the show, as a college football observer, Georgia hasn't had a quality number 2 prior to this era of Kirby Smart since DJ Shockley in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's been a severe drop-off from 1 to 2 and way, way worse from 2 to 3. You know, in previous regimes than ever, like Kirby would ever allow it.
Oh yeah,
at this point. So it just doesn't behoove you to take worse players. You know, ever at all. It always makes your roster better to take the best player available, and competition be damned. You know what I mean? By the way, they also do a very good job at Georgia of making sure these individuals are bred for competition. Like they seek it, they want it. Right? One of the biggest tests for Puglisi when he was a commit was when they started recruiting Dylan Raiola. Everybody wanted to know, hey, what's this mean for you? You know, Dylan Raiola just committed. What's this mean for you? Jack shit. Like, I'm coming to Georgia. What do you mean? Like, I'm going to Georgia to compete. What have you heard Ryan Montgomery talk about? I'm going to Georgia to compete. I want to play with and against the best. We've heard Carson Beck talk about, like, I knew the guy in front of me was an NFL guy. If I can't beat that guy, then I must not be an NFL guy. I'm not going to suddenly become an NFL guy somewhere else. You know what I mean? Through magic potions and pills. Okay. It takes time and it takes development and it takes competition. You got to be willing to seek that out. So again, I find this refreshing, not something to be troublesome about, not something to worry about. And again, you're worrying about something that may never happen because you're worried about it. Like, that's just goofy.